Why is it that nobody right now is talking about what this one stock just pulled off? The stock market barely moved last week, and this one stock did something that Wall Street is never, ever going to admit is happening because they want to manipulate how you invest. Also, is FedEx really a victim of the economy? Or is something bigger happening to this carrier service? And why their stock plummeted last week? And is it going to continue? But last and not least, has Nike finally lost its grip? Or is this an opportunity to buy the dip like a rebound, which is based on a lot of the superstars that promote their shoes? This is what we're going to talk about because Nike, we know them, but we don't know about the bad news that's happening on with them right now, do we? Of course we don't. That's Wall Street manipulation. We'll go over that and the two other stocks that we think are the stocks of the week and how you can prepare to be a better investor. Lego.
And you just wanna get paid. Tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, pay for profits to help you seek change. And you just wanna get paid. Yeah, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Pay for profits to help you seek change. Yeah, cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions.
This is what Wall Street is not telling you right now. Signet, the jewelry company, which we'll talk about, exploded. FedEx collapsed. And Nike is falling, falling, falling. But the stock of the week, the stock that did incredibly well is Signet Jewelers, up by 21%. Now, the stock market was up, just barely, but it was up last week. The S&P 500 snapped a 4-week downturn. Now, for the year, it's still down. I believe it's going to climb back up. Middle of the year, I think it's going to be back to where it was in late January before the spike down here or there. But Signet was up by 21%, meaning $100,000 in that stock in 1 week went from $100,000 to $121,000. So why isn't anybody talking about this jewelry company? They are one of the largest jewelry companies in the world. Because their stock has done nothing. Literally, their high was back October 2021 at $106 a share. Now they're not even $60 a share. So a 21% increase is good. They got a long way to get back to where they were. But as a new investor, that's great for you. You buy it at 60, even if it takes a year to get back to where it was. That is a 80% gain. 80% in 1 year? Not bad. If it takes 2 years, that's a 40% gain. But why did that stock climb up? The reason why is because they finally got their act together. And they made an announcement that they had a huge increase in revenue third quarter of last year, and they think it's going to be larger fourth quarter of last year as well. Not because of wedding season, not because of the holidays, but because of this. And not regular ice, lab-grown diamond. They made a shift in their production from natural diamonds to lab-grown diamonds. These, moissanites. We got regular diamonds, but these on my wrist, moissanites. And the public, the market has spoken. They don't want to pay tens of thousands of dollars for something that passes a diamond tester, has better clarity, that shines better than a regular diamond, is not a blood diamond created in Africa or other places where it takes kid labor to create one of these and mine it. They've spoken. People are more intentional when it comes to how they spend their money. And if they can get something that is a diamond, passes a diamond tester, does not have all the crazy geopolitical mess that regular diamonds do, they're going to buy moissanite diamonds. And they made a shift, Signet did. And they saw their prices increase because of it. Because now they're still able to overcharge like they have been all these years, but overcharge as they make something that costs less. A lot of moving parts for a diamond. Shipping it somewhere, gotta mine it, pay it. You're probably helping fund wars, you know what I mean, especially in Africa. A lot of moving parts to do natural diamonds. Man-made diamonds, not a lot of pots in the pan. Not a lot of hands getting dirty. You can do it for a lot less, and if they're charging less money but still having a higher profit margin, they win, and their stocks went up dramatically. So much so, they made so much money third quarter of last year, they said, you know what? We're going to pay you a dividend. And Wall Street loves that because a dividend is when a company makes money and a part of the a part of the money that they make, they give back to you for holding a share of that company, a piece of that company. So they made so much money that they paid a dividend. And also, they closed 10% of their stores. And they're moving a lot of things online. And I hate to see, first and foremost, anybody losing their jobs. So a lot of people who worked in malls or worked in their stores, they lost their jobs. We hate to see that. But as a company, by now having 10% of their workforce not there, not having to pay rent on places, not having to pay employees, shift a lot of that stuff online because now they are in the lab diamond phase, they're cutting. So because of that, their stock went up by 21%. Now their stock went up by 21%. But a stock of the week that we might have to tiptoe from, maybe put some puts on, is FedEx. FedEx was down by 11% last week. The market, as we talked about, it was up a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But FedEx was down by 11%. Now, they're still down from $300 a share where they were a few years ago. So they got to get back to where they were. But they are blaming it on the rain. Rain. No, they're not. They had to revise how much money they think they're going to make in the year 2025 because of tariff. It's the story that keeps on telling itself. While that administration is doing a not so good job with the conversations and the threats of tariffs. They had to say because of cost, shipping, industrial goods overseas that they're shipping and coming here, it's going to hurt their bottom line. Now, of course, with its tariffs, they're going to increase their prices, but the increase in price to make up that margin is not as much as the tariffs. And then if we have retaliatory tariffs from other countries towards us, it's going to make their stock go down more. So their stock went down solely because of tariffs, are what we're told. You see, FedEx was watching a few years ago about their artificial intelligence, their robotic division that was going to allow drivers the opportunity to have their routes logistically better, saving gas, and having their machines down the street delivering. Well, they have basically scrapped that. You know, the good thing with AI and artificial intelligence is that it helps. The bad thing is that it doesn't help as much as we think it can. We're not there yet. And they was too, in my opinion, upfront with how they were going to take drivers off the street and have robots deliver their packages. And it just hasn't worked. No other way to say it. And Wall Street noticed that. So the love they gave them a few years ago when their stock went up to $300 a share, that love's going away. Does that mean FedEx is going to go crashing and burning? No. If they get their act together and they do things the correct way, slowly but surely implement changes, have those robots do those jobs in facilities and out facilities, yes, their stock can definitely get back to $300 a share. If it does, that's a pretty good gain. That's a 30% gain from here. I wouldn't say no to that. And shareholders wouldn't say no to that. And just because the stock is down by 11%, if it takes a whole year for it to get back to where it was, that's still for you a 16% gain. You're still doing better than what the stock market does on average. Dow Jones average is 9%. You make 16, that's still good. So we're not saying sell FedEx. What we are saying is it is a telltale story. Stocks are going up because of AI, but the implementation of how they're going to use it, womp womp. And Trump being Trump is hurting companies. It's hurting the market, but more companies, it hurts more than the general market, like FedEx. And that leads us to number 3, the opportunity of the week, maybe of the quarter, is Nike. Now, Nike went down by 5%. Yes. Big reason why last week, the tariffs. Retaliatory tariffs is going to hurt Nike because we know they do so much manufacturing overseas. They do about 90% of their manufacturing overseas. And they're global. So tariffs coming in, tariffs going out, it's going to hurt them. And Wall Street, they don't like that. They don't like tariffs and they don't like uncertainty. And if the tariffs come to fruition, Nike's profit margin is going to go down. Our gym shoes that we buy are going to go up in price, and Nike won't be able to make the same amount of money per shoe that they make, which is not good for them. Hence why their stock went down by 5%, even though, besides the tariffs, all things wasn't bad for Nike. You see, they have captivated a new audience. Right now, March Madness. More eyes on TV from a college basketball standpoint than any time in the year. Late February, early April. So it should be increased sales in basketball shoes, which Nike has basically cornered the market for years. So that's good news. So you would think because the anticipation, Wall Street puts things forward and they predict what's going to happen 18 to 24 months with this spike in ads for basketball should be a spike for Nike stock to go up. So you would think this is good news. That's why it going down by 5% might be a quick opportunity because for a month from now, it might get back to where it was. If so, 5% down to 7% up. In a month and a half, I'll take that. Would you like to get 7.5% every 2 months? I mean, come on. Somebody say none of that? Of course not. That's over 50% a year. Come on. So Nike, because of this opportunity in the eyes on basketball, should be growing. But the tariffs got investors spooky, and that's why Nike went down. The future, we don't know. The past happened. The present is where we can take opportunities. So Signet Jewelers still needing to get back up by 80%, even though it's up by 21%, might be an investment opportunity, especially as if I can pull it out my sleeve, the all the ice is now a lot more inexpensive to make and helps them with their bottom line. Might be an investment opportunity over the next few years. FedEx down by 11%. If the tariffs do not come to fruition, this stock may jump. And once they get their act together with AI and robotics internally, the facilities, externally on the streets, we can see them get back to where they were at almost $300 a share. And Nike, down by basically 6% last week, might be a quick opportunity for a jump. As we're seeing March Madness, we're seeing people playing basketball. The kids telling their parents they want to be like this player. They get tennis shoes, more importantly, basketball shoes. Term, those sales spike. Wall Street likes it. And that 6% down goes to maybe 7 or 8% up. That could happen instantaneously. And if it does, we got that short run that nobody says no to. But as always, like, subscribe, share to our channel. We'll continue to give you value, give you education. As always, let's make some painless profits together, y'all. And peace.